This is another episode of my Bible reading series of the New International Version. My sister is sending me a King James student Bible, I think, and at some point I'm gonna have to do a full read through of that. And I'll do that, and get a full video out. But yeah, that'll be another 3 years of my life. For sure. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Wait, hold on. I didn't even say. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, yeah. All right, check out the playlist, top right hand corner of in the beginning of the video, and in this video I'm doing Genesis chapter 40. The last chapter talked about Joseph and where he ended up after being sold into slavery by his brothers. And basically he ended up being the slave of some high-ranking Egyptian or something like that, and he ended up being the whole leader of the house because God favored him and doing everything that he did. So the whole household was blessed. But then the Egyptian man's wife wanted to sleep with him because he was like good looking and stuff. But he said no because he was a guy. So she basically framed him and lied and said that he was trying to sleep with her when it was the exact opposite. And now he's in jail. But then Joseph became like the same situation occurred in prison. He was put in charge of everything. So I think that's continuing here. Sometime later, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt offended their master, the king of Egypt. Pharaoh was angry with his two officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, and put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the same prison where Joseph was confined. The captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, and he attended them. After they had been in custody for some time, each of the two men, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were being held in prison, had a dream the same night, and each dream had a meaning of its own. When Joseph came to them the next morning, he saw that they were dejected, so he asked Pharaoh's officials who were in custody with him in his master's house, "Why are your faces so sad today?" "We both had dreams," they answered, "but there is no one to interpret them." Then Joseph said to them, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams." So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream. He said to him, "In my dream I saw a vine in front of me, and on the vine were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, it blossomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup, and put the cup in his hand. This is what it means." Joseph said to him, "The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position, and you will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand, just as you used to do when you were his cupbearer. But when all goes well with you, remember me and show me kindness. Mention me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison, for I was forcibly carried off from the land of the Hebrews, and even here I have done nothing to deserve being put in a dungeon." When the chief baker saw that Joseph had given a favorable interpretation, he said to Joseph, "I too had a dream. On my head were 3 baskets of bread. In the top basket were all kinds of baked goods for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating them out of the basket on my hand." "This is what it means," Joseph said. "The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days Pharaoh will lift off your head and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat away your flesh." Now the 3rd day was Pharaoh's birthday, and he gave a feast for all his officials. He lifted up the head of the chief cupbearer and the chief baker and the chief baker in the presence of his officials. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position, so that he once again put the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, just as Joseph had said to them in his interpretation. The chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him. Yeah. So, more dream stuff. And in the next chapter, supposedly, I haven't read chapter 41 yet, but based on the little headings I have in my student Bible, I have it says its heading is Pharaoh's dreams. So yeah. Anyway, I'll go through that in the next video. It'll probably be a week from the time this is uploaded or something like that, because I usually don't have time to upload on my work days. I have to wait till my off days. But I think next week I only have 2 days off instead of 3. We'll see. I don't know. I might be asked to work or something like that. Even more, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright. But yeah. That's it. I'm out.